So I have to admit that even though co-ownerships, cooperatives, communal living are actual solutions on their own, they are nothing more than mere workarounds. And it's important to state this, especially when I'm always very cautious and conscious of workarounds. It's important that I clarify that yes, co-ownerships, cooperatives, and communal trust and communal living or communal land trust are actual complete solutions on their own. I mean, cooperatives is something that every Nigerian is familiar with. Communal living has more or less been a part of our cultural existence. So, they work. However, because in the real sense of things, they do not solve the problem entirely. They only give means, they give opportunity, they give expressions to those who have the means without to do things as it fits their budget. But if you want to truly solve this housing crisis, the true solution goes in structurally enabling access, structurally and systemically enabling the masses, the average Nigerian, to be able to access, to be able to provide, to be able to meet their housing needs. So for decades, we've been dragging government, advocating for this, advocating for that. And yes, that's because we all know that affordability is subjective. And so the only person that can decide or determine or filter what is truly affordable is you. And so no matter how much subsidy, no matter how much grants, no matter how much free or affordable housing or subsidized housing the government is providing, if it does not meet your socio-economic reality, then it is a mismatch. And in that case, the role of the government is to create the environment that helps you to filter and decide and determine what works for you. Which is why we always advocate for infrastructure, economic development, and income-responsive planning. And we must have these three, because it is not enough that we have infrastructure. If your income does not work, if land sells at 50 million and your income is at 50,000, that is economically impossible. And because the reality of the economy is such that everybody cannot be up at the same time, we then make planning, we make city development, urban development, and we tailor it so that people can cut their coat according to their size. I mean, look around you. There is a minimum land size that you can get title for, whereas people are already buying quarter plots or even less just to meet their housing needs. So, yes, infrastructure is important. Yes, economic development is important. Also, economic empowerment is also important, as well as making planning, making city development, making access to urban equity, access to property ownership, tailored to income realities. So, long and short is, dragging the government is one side of the coin. Creating an environment for you to be able to make what fits you work is one side of that conversation. The other side is you actually knowing or being able to pay the price to achieve what fits your realities. So, yes, co-ownerships, cooperatives, or communal land trusts are not completely the solution to a housing crisis. I mean, they don't even reduce the cost of anything. None of these magically make the cost of cement cheaper. They only just help us plan, navigate, and manipulate the inputs that go into housing in such a way that makes it convenient and less burdensome for people to achieve. For those that are in this category, at least those that have the means to start something, these tools help them to work around the cost of ownership, the cost of development, the cost of the pre-development stages, the cost of approval, the cost of design, as it fits their income realities. And so, in the context of the previous video, which if you've not seen, I'm going to attach in the show notes or in the comments below so that you can get an idea of what all of this is about. But without overflogging what they are, how they work, what they achieve any longer, there are 3 or 4 things that if you must use these tools, you must pay attention to. The first is, whatever you do, whether cooperative, co-ownership, or even you buy your quarter plot, or you do it by yourself, make sure it is legal, bankable, and credit-worthy. I mean, make sure the title is clean, you have approval, and every documentation that is necessary that can help you leverage that development, that property in the future for economic or financial access. Basically, make sure that such land, such building, such property is legally recognized and approved and allowed by the government, as this will protect you in the present and also in the future, and not only just protect you, but also enable you access the financial possibilities, the economic possibilities that are tied to owning that legal, bankable, credit-worthy right that is locked within such property. The second is avoid outskirts if you can, because at the end of the day, the promise of outskirts is the cost of land is cheaper. However, in most cases, you still have to provide infrastructure yourself, electricity, roads, You see estates contributing money to fix road, contributing money to provide electricity, contributing money for borehole. So if at the end of the day, all of those costs still brings the cost of your housing to that point where it's almost the same as the decently primed areas, why not look for those decently primed areas and then plug in any of these tools that fit your purpose? And number 3 is, there is no shame in living in an uncompleted house. And I need to say this because many of us have come to see living in an uncompleted building as a sign of poverty. Meanwhile, it is a global reality of more than 4 billion people that in order to meet their housing need, in order to curate their house according to their socioeconomic realities, they have to build it in stages. And because many don't have the means to build at the same time and also still pay rent for another property, they just build a portion and then spend all that money in building and completing it incrementally over the years. So all of these tools that I've recommended, co-ownership, cooperatives, or communal land trust, helps you to plug and play into incremental development. You build it in phases without pressure as it fits your realities. So what we can do, however, is layer technical guidance such that we can build it and still make it presentable, make it dignifying. For example, we can build the exterior wall, paint it, and move in, and then start finishing what is inside at your own pace and at your convenience. Or build one part completely, finish it to taste, and then keep adding the rest to it as your income becomes more flexible. So I guess you can also see that even though these tools have a particular way in which they are expressed, the amount of flexibility in them makes it so robust that it can be applied to different budgets, different socioeconomic realities, and different use cases. And with that said, that brings me to the last part of all of this, that none of these tools will miraculously make anything cheap. For example, building in stages does not reduce the cost of housing. Co-ownership does not reduce the cost of land. Incremental building does not reduce the cost of construction. What they do, however, is that with guidance and with proper planning, they help you achieve with convenience what will have really burdened you financially by planning and working around all the costs of such endeavor. And that planning is the key thing, the most important thing in all of this. That to enjoy either co-ownership, cooperative, or land trust, or even communal living, it requires adequate planning and technical guidance. And that is why, like I said, I'm going to attach that video in the show notes and also in the comment section, so that whenever you're ready, just pick it, share it with your engineer or share it with your architect, so that they can understand how to help you move forward whenever you are ready to pursue your home ownership or your housing dreams. And I hope this helps.